wet rucksacks, 10,000 people were trying to get on the same coach, and it reminded him of the immigration scene in the film Children of Men.
It was grim down there, and as I said last week, I don't think people should be taking kids down there, frankly.
It's crazy.
It's just, it's obscene. I saw two children asleep in a wheelbarrow being pulled along at one point. I thought, that's not right, is it? That's not what childhood's about. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for your Glasto stories, and we heard from Harry earlier. Sammy, what's your musical selection this week?
I have chosen the first charting single of Genesis. Now, that's for two reasons. I do absolutely love this song, and I do love Peter Gabriel, but it was my mum's birthday last week, and she kind of got me into Genesis. The first song you played today was a hit in 1973, I believe, by the New York Dolls, and so was this. And this is I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe.
This is Steve Show, BBC Six Music, where we seem to have ended up with some kind of live version of Genesis's I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe. Sammy, was that the version you were hoping for?
It wasn't, but I've never heard that version before, so that was a treat for me, as well as my mum and the listeners, which was quite nice. I imagine if that was a live version, that Peter Gabriel had a red dress on and a fox's head, which is what he did prefer to wear when singing that song.
Yes.
That's why I love Genesis.
I have to say, I'm one of those people who's ignorant of early Genesis. I only really know them from those later points when they were taking a much-needed swipe at supermodels in We Can't Dance, or You Can't Dance, or whatever it was called. You Can't Dance, You Can't Walk. The only thing you could... I Can't Dance, I Can't... Oh, that was right, he did it from the point of view of a supermodel. Yeah, even more damning. Yes, but as I remember mentioning before, it's a much-needed swipe at those people. Yes, good. Well, thank you very much, Sammy, and I apologise for ending up with that unusual live version.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Good. As long as you're happy, then we all are. Okay, so we've had some suggestions from the people here in this room, but of course, the whole point of this show is that you, the listeners, can contribute as well, and you can go to the website if you'd like to make your musical voice heard, which is exactly what Drew Campbell has done. Drew, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Drew. What are you up to this afternoon?
Well, I've been waiting your call for the last hour.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. I've just been doing some work, actually.
Have you? What sort of work are you doing?
I'm a writer. I'm actually planning out a playwriting workshop that I'm going to be delivering in a couple of weeks. Oh, okay. So you're a playwright. So the first person we've had, I think, on the phone who's sort of doing something explicitly creative as opposed to just lounging around in a university somewhere. It's nice to know. And so, what sort of plays do you do? Well, I'm not just a playwright. I do other kinds of writing too. I do poetry and short stories and novels. But I had a play. We did a wee tryout of a play last week called The Doppler Effect, which was a kind of thriller. Two guys in a train station, and one of them's an assassin and the other one's a victim.
It sounds interesting. I'm instantly hooked.
Good.
Is Theatreland still as vibrant as it once was? A lot of people are saying now it's a waste of time and everyone should just watch the telly.
I think they should, yes.
You think so? You think they should just watch the telly?
Absolutely.
And are you already thinking about maybe converting your thriller into a film?
Actually, I am. I've got a friend of mine who's a filmmaker and he's interested in it, and we're talking about possibly converting it into a short, half-hour film.
Who might you see in the role?
I don't know. Someone cheap, probably.
Right, well, I'll give you my number. I'll be honest with you, when I won a few awards, I thought the film's offers would come flooding in. It's not happened. So I'll be honest with you, if you get this one made, I'm happy to perhaps be sort of a ticket attendant or something. Anything, just to get my face seen in a movie.
Well, I'll contact your agent.
Oh, please don't bother with that. Waste of time. So, Drew, we have to crack on because we've got other music to fit in this afternoon. I'm going to play a very long Neil Young track, which is worth hanging around for. But which tune have you chosen for us?
Jilted John, by Jilted John.
Okay, now this is a song which I was unfamiliar with, but a lot of people won't be, particularly our younger listenership. What's led you to this one?
Well, it was under the bit on your website about love songs, and this came out when I was about 13 or 14, and it was the first kind of love song that I connected with, because it was just kind of about the kind of pettiness of it all, and hanging about outside chip shops and being spiteful about girls that, saggy for some other better looking guy.
Sure. It still relates to me now.
Barry White and, all that kind of thing that was always in the charts then, and still is.
Let's listen to Jilted John by Jilted John, and we'll come back, we'll catch up with you again in a second. Let's have a listen.
Okay.
Cheers, Drew. choice of Drew Campbell in East Kilbride. It's Jilted John by Jilted John. Drew, I'm so sorry that we've not had longer to talk. I know you've been hanging around, twiddling your thumbs.
No problem.
And I do apologise for that, but hopefully we'll have you on perhaps in the future and you can choose something else for us.
No problem, that was great to hear it anyway.
Oh, good. Thank you so much indeed for calling. And if you would like to recommend a tune, then you can, as I say, check out the website, www.something or other, and you can do it there. We have to crack on because I want to try and squeeze in one of my favourite tunes from one of my favourite albums. It's the title track from the album On the Beach by Neil Young, released in 1974 when roadies and the like that had died of drug overdoses and all sorts of things, and it was a very melancholy album, and he made it, and it sounds really loose and sort of shambolic at times, but actually it's very personal and heartfelt, and I really do urge you to seek out the album On the Beach if you've not already heard it. So here we are, Neil Young, On the Beach. Thank you to Sammy, to Harry, to Vic Sharma, Internet Guru, and we'll be back hopefully next week. And anything else anyone else wants to add?
Freak Zone next.
Freak Zone, is the Freak Zone next?
Yeah.
Good, excellent, thank you very much indeed. And are you keeping me talking? I thought we had to start the song.
Yeah, we've got 4 seconds.
Oh, for goodness sake, Jude, I didn't realise. Oh, well, here's Neil Young.
BBC Six Music.
Morning, I was rummaging around in my Where Are They Now drawer, and I pulled out Definition of Sound. They were hidden behind Ali Sheedy. and I thought to myself, where are they now? And I don't know. 64046, if you know where Definition of Sound are. They were a couple of fellas from London who had a couple of albums, and they were very good. And I looked on the web, I couldn't find anything about them, which is a great shame. So I thought the web, usually you can source all kinds of information. So no luck. Stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk if you know where Definition of Sounds currently are. Maybe you're one of them. Kevin Clark or Don Weeks, maybe you're listening. Get in touch, 64046. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, and that was Past the Vibes, Definition of Sound. Welcome to the show. I have with me 3 associates, colleagues, friends, if you will, plus of course Jude, producing. A round of applause for Jude. She doesn't get enough props on the show, but she's a vital cog in our giant wheel. And with me in the far corner there, of course, Harry. He works in a bank.
Yep, that's right.
Thank you. We missed him last week because he was off doing some highfalutin fancy acting. It's Rufus, super posh.
Hello.
Welcome back. And she's from up north, but don't hold that against her. It's Sammy.
Hello, everyone.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Harry, which number am I thinking of?
4.
Incorrect. Rufus.
Is it 6?
It could be 6, Sammy.
7.
It's 6, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Rufus, you get the short straw. You have to explain to people what the kind of ethos of this show is. I've summarised it many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's for anyone who remembers those old 70s Radio 2 shows where the music was very kind of rocking chair based. Forget it, turn over.
Really?
That's not what it's
Nice,
like.
thank you, yeah.
It's rock and roll, it's a little bit of banter. It's a show about music. Six Music is all about the music.
It's all about music.
This show is all about the music. We talk about music a lot. And we basically wait for you to tell stories about various encounters you've had to experience through being famous and rich.
Yes.
While we laugh appreciatively in the corner.
Thank you, yeah, good, yeah.
And try and make you sound funnier, and in return try and get free tickets for stuff.
But bear in mind that if this is not a humour show, Rufus.
No.
You know, the chat, the back
Not
chat.
remotely.
Thank you. The back chat is very much secondary to the music, but I don't want people to be. I choose to use words as I see fit. If I choose to change the way they're pronounced, if indeed I want to make up words, then I will do some.
Yeah.
But no, it's not a humour show, it's a music show, as you say.
That's right.
And music's very much at the forefront. But people shouldn't be intimidated, Rufus, should they? If they're perhaps, they're fans of the Steve, but they're perhaps, not totally au fait with all sorts of music.
Not at all, Steve. If
We're not an exclusive club, are we?
No! If we were to do research, which Jude does most weeks, into the audience breakdown, we'd find a lot of Steve Show fans. We'd find a lot of XFM fans from your old days with Ricky. We'd find a few Office and Extras fans. But mainly we'd find fans of interesting new music.
I certainly hope so.
And our parents.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, I don't know if that's made anything clear, but basically we play records, we talk about them. These people are here in order to bring music to me that I'm perhaps unfamiliar with, and also you, the listeners, can get in touch and also contribute songs to us. We'll get to some of the choices from these guys after we've heard from Feeder. Harry, you'll be pleased. Apparently, Feeder are currently in the studio recording their new album.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, he's not a Feeder fan, are you?
I don't really like him.
I don't particularly. I don't know why I played that.
No.
I just thought it had a nice up-tempo kind of summery quality that we, some of our listeners may enjoy.
Well, that's fair enough.
Perhaps some of our younger listeners. Sammy, you are one of our younger listeners, and you're very much part of the show. No, I like to remind people that, I'm getting on, of course, but I'm still in touch with the youth, or rather Sammy is, and she tells me what's hit and happening. Perhaps, what current ringtone should I have?
Well, I've got a ringtone that no one else probably has got. I've got Kinky Boots from, I remember, is it Patrick McNee and Honor Blackman? Yeah, that's my ringtone.
So that's from about, what, 1967 or something?
Yeah, so I'm probably not the best person to ask.
You're way hip. What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you this week, Sammy?
I had a pretty dull week until last night. My parents left me for a night. Oh, I'm over it, it's fine. My best friend came over.
You know you're not 7 anymore. That's not technically an offence.
We'll see. And my best friend came over and we put our pyjamas on and we built some flat pack furniture and we ordered a pizza, and it was a really nice chilled night watching an awful show on ITV about who can remember the most lyrics from a song. Come on, people, that's not television.
What? That sounds amazing.
You know it? Oh my god. I don't know what's sadder, the fact they aired it or the fact that we watched every minute without talking over it. Probably that.
So they just get people on and they just have to remember the lyrics.
They're looking for the Lyric Champion 2007. I don't know what you win.
What do you mean the lyric champion? What does that mean, the lyric champion?
Well, they say a line and you have to remember the line after it, or they say a line and you have to sing the line before.
And this goes on for an hour?
Yeah.
On ITV prime time?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's extraordinary.
Who's presenting it?
That's quite simply something you do in the pub, which someone thought, well, we can
JK
make
and
this.
Joel. Radio 1 DJs, yeah. Yep. So we sat through that small piece of hell, and then we got a phone call about 10:30 from my gorgeous friends who said, I'm having a party, I'm leaving to go to Beijing, would you like to come round? And I said, oh, we're really tired and I've got to go to London tomorrow. I'm in my pyjamas, is that alright? Yeah, that's fine, just come round. We rocked up in our pyjamas, he erected a tent in his living room, and we sat in this damp tent eating bread and hummus. Bye, Jack, have a nice trip to Beijing.
What kind of a place is your hometown?
That was seriously happened.
I
It
have
was
to say,
so bizarre.
Sammy, every week I ask you, and every week it gets weirder. I mean, there's a running theme, which Saturday nights tends to be pyjama night round your house. We've certainly established that. You and your best friend put your pyjamas on and do stuff. Last night you were erecting flat pack furniture. I don't know why. If you're living in a house,
I don't want to keep it flat. That would just be pointless.
But presumably you've already got furniture.
And I wanted a filing cabinet.
Sure.
That's it. That's literally the beginning and end of the story. I wanted a filing cabinet. I bought a filing cabinet. I erected the filing cabinet. It's too heavy to take upstairs. I'll wait till my dad gets back.
Saturday night's obviously the
Exactly how much filing do you have to do?
Oh, I just get things through the post and I never read them, so they're all on my bedroom floor. And I realised the other day I've only got
and stuff,
half a foot space of bedroom floor left, so I should really put it in a drawer and never look at it.
And so you erected a tent in your friend's.
I didn't erect this tent. This had nothing to do with me.
Why did
just don't put that on me.
Why did he put a tent up in the front room?
Because he had it. He was like, we should put a tent up in the graveyard, and I said, I'm not up for that. I don't like graveyards. He went, well, I've got no garden. Should we just put it up in here? And he'd been away in this tent, and it was soaking wet. It stunk. We were all really uncomfortable. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in a 2-man tent, sitting, eating hummus.
But wait. You say these things as though they've only just occurred to you that they're odd. Well, some things you just let go by. Well, you thought about putting it up in a graveyard. Whoa! Hang on a minute. So did someone thankfully shot that particular idea down?
I shot that down. He lives opposite a graveyard. It wasn't like we're going to actively seek out a graveyard.
And then you thought, at some point you were soaking wet and it stank, and you thought, it's another Saturday night.
Well, it was better than sitting on our settee watching that horrible lyric show with JK and Joe.
I'm not sure it was.
No, I'm not sure it was.
I'm not sure.
This is extraordinary. You are. I mean, there's so many questions that I don't feel that I, with my lack of clinical training, could even possibly begin to uncover. Have your friends ever been to London? or out of their homes before?
Many of them haven't left the village, and one of them actually goes to university in Leeds, and every weekend comes back to Cramlington to go to the Working Men's Club. That's actually true. Every weekend he comes home. Oh, my life.
Good to
I'm
think
so
that
sorry to impart this on people.
Things haven't. Rufus, what's the most interesting that happened to you this week?
Well, Steve, just to change the tone slightly, you know that I move in certain exalted circles.
Yes, you're very posh.
I'm quite posh. I'm constantly on the lookout for people posher than me.
Who is it?
Exactly, yeah. Because I wear little except ermine and fur and pearls and crowns and things like that.
Of course.
I was spending some time with a friend of mine called Mark doing a role-play job last week, and I didn't think Mark was that posh. He told me, just quite by the by, that he spent a couple of weeks ago, his father used to be the governor of the